And then I also, why am I, okay. Well, hello there, or moin, as we say here in Hamburg, and welcome to Stitch-Ilonka. My name is Ilonka. Yes, it's spelled with an I, but pronounced with an E. And you have reached me here on my channel about cross-stitching and lately a bit of crochet and sewing. And if you've just found me, hi, hello, sit down, have a cookie. Grab something to stitch and just listen to my voice. Sorry. And for my returning viewers, thank you so much for clicking the subscribe button and being here, because I've reached 1,000 subscribers. I've just, before I started recording, I just looked it up and I am at 1,000, and I am so amazed by this. Thank you so much for subscribing, for coming back every time, and for commenting and making this cross stitch and crochet journey for me so enjoyable, as the most enjoyable journey that it could be. I'm very, very thankful for that, and I am actually planning on doing a giveaway, but I have to see how I can do it for the international audience. So yeah, bear with me, click the subscribe button so you won't miss out on the giveaway that I will be preparing for next week. Next time. Now, what awaits you today? It's really a mishmash of things. I have been stitching a lot, I've been crocheting a lot, but I have to say I have had a mushy brain over the last few weeks. I don't know about you. I don't know from where you watch me. Please, that would be quite interesting, because I know that in the US it's also very, very hot right now, and that's a place where many of my viewers come from. But also here in Europe, it's been ridiculously hot. Yesterday, Wednesday, the 20th of July 2022 was the hottest day recorded, if I'm correct, like a very, very, very hot day. And you have to keep in mind, here in Germany or here in Europe, we are not used to, or our houses are not built to have air conditioning. Like in the US, I feel like every household has an AC somewhere, and even if you rent out a flat or something, or an apartment, you have small ACs through your windows. We don't have that here in Germany, so this is not a thing. I have been utilizing my my mobile fans and drinking cold water and not moving as much, and yeah, so I have been surviving. But it's not really the heat that gets to me, but it's the up and down of the temperatures, because today, like yesterday, it was like 40 degrees and today it's 22, so it's half of it. And my brain is really just mushy as heck. I mean, yeah, it's just mush. I don't know about you. Let me know where you watch from and what. Oh, I know there are a few Australian peeps who watch my videos, and I am very envious of you right now, because you probably have cool temperatures and just don't know what we're talking about. Well, good on you. Okay, what awaits you today? A bit of, I had two starts. I had a bit of, been working on my whips, a bit of crocheting. Of course, I mean, it's like 40 degrees outside, so what do? You put a whole bunch of yarn on your lap and crochet. Okay, and I got a wonderful happy mail from my friend Amber, and I will show you that at the end. So let's dive on in. First off, I finally started, I've been talking about this a few times, from this book by Blackbird Designs, Winds of Autumn. There is this beautiful owl sitting on a tree, and I started it on a 25 count even weave, hand dyed by Esther, the Danish stitcher, and that's how it's going. And I am so happy with the placement and everything, because this really looks to me like a sunset. And the tree will extend down here, and down here, if I show you the picture again, down here there is a house. And it's supposed, I'm supposed to stitch like the light colors into these windows, but I'm actually wondering if I should leave the windows unstitched so that it looks like the sunset peeking through the windows. I don't know, what do you think? I will definitely try it. I've not been using the flosses that were suggested in the booklet, but I used different ones. For the black, I used Cast Iron Skillet by the Gentle Art, and I hope that it will be enough for the tree and the house and everything. I probably won't stitch the frame, or I will see how much yarn I've left and then see if I can stitch the frame. But yeah, it's not as black, it's more of a gray black, and it doesn't look that dead to me. What I'm very happy about is the moon that I stitched in Classic Colorworks Ginger Snap, and I only have this bit left, so it worked out fine. And this is Ginger Snap, and although it is a variegation yarn, and I kind of know that you are supposed to like not go in straight lines to prevent the stripiness from happening, just as I had in my Winter Quaker, this time it worked out beautifully because I have stripes, and as Michelle Bendy Stitchy would say, I don't care, I like it stripy. But this time I have these stripes here in the moon, and it looks like the texture of the moon, but also like faint little clouds streaming across the moon. So I love the variegation. And some stitches here inside the owl are also made with this moon color, and the rest is filled out with the Gentle Art Pebble. And these two colors are quite close to each other because Pebble has a very strong variegation from light colors to darker colors, but I don't mind. I mean, it looks really kind of organic and really nice. I mean, the owl, that's what owls look like, I guess. I am so happy with this project, and I could have stitched it, you know, that could have been the only project to stitch on for the rest of these last 3 weeks, but I had to put it away because I wanted to stitch on something else so that I have to show something when I film the next time. So yeah, this one is really going to turn out very nicely. And thank you, Esther, again. I don't think that there is a single video that I am not talking about my dear friend Esther, and she will be over here next week here in Hamburg, and we will have a stitching retreat, like a stitching meetup here in Hamburg at the end of next week. And that's why I kind of moved my schedule a bit so that I can have like the 2 weeks intervals going forward, because I'm also going on holidays and Esther will be here and a few other appointments that I have, so that I moved my schedule now to this week, whatever. Yeah, so we will be meeting up with a few German stitchers and here in Hamburg, and I'm very much looking forward to meeting Esther in person. So that was also my entry into the spooky summer stitch hashtag that's been going on, but also in July we are doing Christmas in July, and I wanted to restart my Scandi tree from Historical Sampler Company from the UK, and I showed this to you last time, and this is what it looks like. Oh my god, the glitter comes out perfectly. Sorry, I'm freaking out. Because it's not that sunny right now. I have, yeah, you can really see the glittery golden threads running through the fabric. I'm so happy. This is a Belfast linen by Zweigart, called, I don't know. That's not what it's called, but I don't know what it's called. But it's a golden thread, golden sparkly thread thingy, and I am restarting my tree on this one with the floss that has been in the kit. I'm very sorry, I have to wait for the... So I've been restarting it with the thread that has been in the kit. So there was the standard blank DMC blank white, and at first I was like, it doesn't really show up that well in person when I look at it like this. but on camera it really looks quite good. I suppose I should have kind of swapped the blank out to, I don't know, the 5200 or the winter white, which is, what's the number, 3865. But I wanted to use the thread that I already have, so I used the white that was in the kit. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Oh, and let me tell you something about this fabric. I bought this pre-cut thingy from Zweigart, and I just measured out the space that I would need for the tree, and I just cut it. And I didn't pay attention to the direction of the golden thread that's running through, because it has a direction. It's one golden thread that's woven in with the normal woven thread that you would use. I don't know if it's the waft or the weft. Waft or weft, is that right? Anyway, so I noticed when I started stitching that the golden thread runs like this, like on the horizontal. But maybe it would have been better if I had kind of cut it to have the golden thread running upside down, like from top to bottom, or from bottom to top, whatever you want to call it. Because is it visible? Like if I hold it like this, does it look different to you than if I would hold it like this? Yes, it doesn't. It definitely does, doesn't it? Like the sparkle is different. It doesn't really bother me that much. Like from afar you won't be able to tell, but definitely next time I will definitely pay attention to that and see that I will not, like that I will pay attention to the golden thread running like vertically rather than horizontally. And I suppose it's the same with the silver threads. Like Zweigart also has something with silver threads in there. But yeah, anyway, I am very happy with the start already. The red shows up very nicely, and it's actually quite good to stitch on something that reminds me of the colder weather right now, because I'm sweating. So these were the two starts, and I have been working on a few whips as well. First of all, the year-long Modern Folk Embroidery sale. This is only the printout from June, but we are already in July, and the second half of the boat is finally revealed. And I love going online on Instagram and searching for the hashtag MFE sale 2022 and have a look at all the beautiful color variations that people do. I guess it's Aya Rosen who did, like, these are flags, you know, and she did these flags in rainbow color, and I just love it. I can't wait to see how it looks like when it's ready. And I also talked about Tony last time, the Stubborn Stitcher. She's got a wonderful color scheme, and it's just amazing what people have in their brains to figure out, you know, how to personalize it. And I am so boring. I only have 2 colors. I'm actually thinking about restarting it and making it all colorful. No, I'm not. So yeah, my colors are red and gold, as you might remember, and I have been stitching on it. I am finally finished with the top row, January to April, and I have finished May down here. And seeing it in full like this is really amazing, and I like it so much. I switched to, I was stitching it in an 11 by 11 Q snap, but I switched to an 11 by 8 Q snap, 8 by 11 Q snap. So it's more or less like a letter size A4 paper size. And so I would have to, I had to move it in order to start on June, but since I took it out of the Q snap, I was like, I cannot go on stitching and go on with the next one, because then I would have to, you know, unpack it from the Q snap to show you. So I stopped stitching on this and stitched on something else until I filmed my Flosstube now. And so yeah, I can finally go on stitching with this. But this is the golden thread that's hanging off of it, and this is May, and I love the idea of, you know, putting golden accents here and there, for example, here in the vase and in this part here. And that's the most creative that I can be with 2 strands. I mean, it's not like I'm not creative, but it's really the balance between having it like in a traditional and more subdued or modest way. No, modest sounds a bit like a judgment. I love the colorful ideas that you come up with. Maybe I just leave it at that. I also stitched a bit on Jacob's Pride cell, Move Forward in Love. And I filled in this triangle over here and started on the border. But I have to, I love this piece and I want to have it finished soon. I mean, June is already over, but anyway, I want to finish it soon. But I stitched this on a 28 count linen, and as you can see, the linen threads in this one are very uneven. And stitching it 1/1 on this kind of linen is really hard on my eyes and on my concentration, because if you get into the nitty-gritty here and the in-between stitches, it will become easier once I move out here. But yeah, the in-between stitches here, filling out the dark blue around the corners, around the edges, that is really something that not only puts strain on my eyes, but also on my brain. And I don't know about you, but if it's like warm and cold and warm and cold, my brain is just mush. And I really had a hard time focusing and concentrating on this tiny stitching. Haha, tiny stitching. Maybe you want to go over to Kaylee Cross Stitch's channel and look at her stitching over 1/1 on 56 count or whatever. That's also why I haven't stitched on my 40 count piece anymore lately, because it's just too hard on my eyes and my concentration. I hope that it will get a bit cooler soon, that I will not be, I mean, I've been sleeping like crazy, like a baby, hours on hours, not like, you know, I can't sleep at night, and then I am tired all day, and I come home and I lie down and I sleep for 2 hours, and then I am kind of awake, but when it's time to go to bed, I'm not tired anymore. That's really odd. So anyway, yeah, this is my Move Forward in Love by Tiny Modern Folk Embroidery. And the last whip that I've been working on is my Summer Quaker by Stitches Through the Years, and I'm stitching this on a 32 count linen also. But do you see that this linen is not as, I don't know, is it really visible, or is it just me? Because I'm stitching this over 2, I don't know. Anyway, so I put in another motif, this one, and this is stitched with Weeks Dye Works Red Pear. And as you can see, the variegation on this one is not that stark or not that wild, but I love just the way it looks. Like this soft variegation from darker to lighter pink red. It's not really a pink red, it's like it's a dusty rosy pink, and I love that, and I can't wait to have this whole thing finished. And then when I finish with this one, I show you the the winter and spring Quaker again, the whole thing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stitch on this today. Yeah, this is how far I am. And Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher, oh, that's actually a good segue, because she sent me some lovely happy mail. But she was asking, she was commenting on Instagram on this one the other day when I showed it, and she was like, I'm intrigued that you are stitching these organic, more subtle motifs lately, or samplers lately. And she's right. I mean, I started a full coverage. Like, I haven't shown you that. It's also an aftermoth, so a lot of confetti. And I have this AT-AT Walker full coverage, which I will be continuing to stitch once Endor, the TV series Endor hits. but somehow like these more loose or more open space motifs speak to me a lot more right now. I don't know why. I mean, I love full coverage and I love how it looks, but maybe I don't have the patience for it, or I don't know what it is. But yeah, I love the way these smaller motifs emerge once you start stitching on it, and it's a lot quicker, and you have like, how many motifs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like you have 10 little motifs, so you have like 10 little finishes with this one. And even with the tree one, every time you stitch a little bird, it's like, yeah, I finished a bird, or I finished a heart, or I finished this one, that one. So the instant gratification and the dopamine that is filling me is maybe something that I am craving right now, or that's, I don't know. Yeah, I just love these motifs lately. So speaking of Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher here on Flosstube, she sent me some happy mail, and we have been exchanging Christmas cards. Oh, let me just, my leg. Okay. So we've been exchanging Christmas cards, and she was so happy that I sent her something that kind of is like typical German in my Christmas card. And so she wanted to send me something that is representative of where she lives in the US. She's in Utah, and she says she lives close to a Native American village, or yeah, village, and also close to a dinosaur monument. That's what I want to say. And so she sent me a wonderful postcard with some very nice writing in it, and I'm very, very happy. And also when she said she went to this Native American village and brought me some gifts from there. So like a beautiful, beautiful dream catcher in a nice mint and red colorway, which I find very interesting. And a like a coaster, a woven coaster, which is very cool, because you know that I also wanted to try out weaving again. So this inspires me to, you know, after crocheting, once my enthusiasm for the crochet dies down, then I might put up, like take up my loom again. Anyway, so very interesting Native American symbolism on this one. And also she sent me a guide to Indian and art and legends, like the Native American art explained, and what different symbols mean, and the history about that. And I'm very, very interested, like very happy that I got this, and I will be diving into this one later today. It's really, really wonderful, and I'm so happy that it's finally here, because she sent it out in April, I guess, like a long time ago, and we were both like, okay, I hope it's arriving. She said, I sent you something, and I say it's still not here, this and that. And then finally, after like 8 weeks, she sent me a picture of the package that was back at her place with German postal stickers on it, like from DHL, from the German postage thingy. And they had put stickers on it saying that the package is not, like, it doesn't adhere to requirements or whatever. So anyway, what I want to say is, this package was already in Germany, and it has been handled here in Germany. And instead of just sending it to me, and even if there's been something wrong with it, I would have paid like something, I don't know, fees or taxes or whatever, I would have paid it. But they didn't even send it to me, but they send it back to the US. And I was like, okay, now let me help you. And we have, from our company, we have a UPS account, and so I was able to send her a return label, and then she sent it to me, and it only took like 4 days or 5 days until it was here in Germany. And they sent me, like the UPS guys sent me emails and we need an invoice, and I said there's nothing of value in it. Of course there's something of value in it, but it's not for individual sale, you know, it's just samples and stuff, gifts. So yeah, but we need an invoice. I said I don't have an invoice, maybe put like €1 on it or whatever. So yeah, at least they sent me emails and I could provide them with information about this. And so after 5 days it was finally here. But yeah, post stories anyway, mail stories. So, but also she sent me some cross stitch patterns from a cross stitch provider on Etsy who is no longer active, if I remember correctly. But yeah, she said she saw this whale, and with these wonderful maritime colors, she thought of me. It's very nice. I mean, it's kind of, it matches my shirt today, doesn't it? And the other one is this beautiful, gorgeous little foxy. Isn't it just gorgeous? I mean, I'm not really kind of this cutesy, lovely, cutesy person, so I wouldn't have chosen them for myself, but that's what I love about, you know, us exchanging these things, because now I definitely want to stitch it because it's a present from my friend. And it's so cute, and if it hangs on my wall right in between all the other crazy stuff that I have hanging over there, it's definitely something with a story, and that I, you know, have a connection, an emotional connection to. And that's what stitching is to me. Like, I stitch things that give me an emotional response. I'm not just stitching something because it's cute, but because it's something meaningful to me. So Ember, thank you very, very much. I'm very much looking forward to it. And Esther, I need a dark blue or a teal blue fabric. Okay, so just when you, next time you dye, maybe, yeah, okay. And then I got another piece of happy mail from a German viewer here, and she said that while they were cleaning out the attic from her grandmother, she found a stack of cross-stitch patterns, and she doesn't know what to do with it, and she just sent it to me. And again, first time our mail delivery person didn't find our or my postbox, and they sent it back, and she was like, did you give me the wrong address? And I said, no, I'm sorry, it's the correct address. Well, I will send it again. I said, yes, please let me know if I can, you know, give you anything for it. And then the second time it worked. I don't know, German mail service, whatever. So anyways, this is a whole stack of cross-stitch patterns from a like from the mountain region in Graz, which is in Austria. Is it the capital of Austria? I'm sorry. But yeah, so these are not like the typical northern Germany or Dutch sampler motifs that you might know from Jacob, for example. But they are more, I don't really want to show them in detail to you, but maybe I can flash them a bit. They are more like hunting themed. Let me see if I can find, yeah, like harvesting, God be praise and thanks, for example, harvesting trees, and what else, a lot of very religious. Here, this one, I want to show you this one. This is so cool. A hunter and deer. So this looks very Southern Germany or Austrian to me. I mean, I am from these regions, so I kind of feel where something comes from, you know. These, for example, this is very Austrian to me. And it's so interesting because I have these wonderful German books here from Northern Germany and Dutch samplers, and the motifs of these samplers that have been traveling through Europe, through Northern Europe. And you can definitely see similarities between Dutch samplers and Northern German samplers. And then you would definitely see similarities between Southern Germany and Austria and Switzerland, for example. So that's very interesting, and I can definitely dive more into the history of that. So I'm very, very thankful for that. I'm really kind of building a neat little collection of this. So it's very, of these different sampler motifs. So it's very, very, very nice. Thank you again. Okay. I'm not doing too much crochet, okay? I just want to tell you a funny story. Well, it's funny now, it wasn't funny then. Anyway, you know that I've been crocheting lately, and this was my very first project that I started. It's just a triangle scarf, a triangle shawl with a very simple double crochet stitch over and over and over again. So this is really something, yeah, it takes more patience than a hate, I suppose. Anyway, so I used these cake yarn thingies, and I started from the middle. And so I just had a bit of yarn left. Let me show you an example. Now let me tell you a bit about my crochet. I have been crocheting on this one. This was my first ever shawl, or yeah, triangle shawl that I started. It's just a simple double crochet stitch all the way back and forth. So it's very boring. And I came down to only a bit of yarn left. Let me show you, for example, like only just this bit of yarn, you know, very, very few. And now I was like, okay, now it falls, like it collapses and it tangles on itself. Maybe I should kind of yarn it up in a bowl, in a ball. And because I had it in this very soft crochet bag here, and I saw a hack on the internet, just like with yarning up your bobbins, that you put your bobbin into a screwdriver, like a drill, an electric drill, and then you slowly start it up, and then you can just wrap the yarn around it. And I saw the same hack with a toilet paper roll and a mixer bowl, like the little thing that you would mix up cream to whipped cream with, because it fits, like it's the same circumference. And so I kind of had this toilet paper roll, and I made a slit in it, and I had like the end of the yarn in it, and I was like, okay, now I'm rolling it up a bit and it works. And so if I put it on slow and just, you know, trace it with my hand, or like guide it with my hand, it will work. But my very old mixer that I inherited from my mother, this one, I don't know if you know it, only has 3 speeds, and it doesn't like speed up slowly like with a hand drill, but it's like 1, 2, 3 and out and off. So I switched it on to 1, and it just went in 1 speed, and everything was fine, and I guided the yarn, and everything was fine. And then it kind of snapped and tangled, and instead of putting it off, switching it off, I accidentally switched it to 3. I mean, it was very funny. My boyfriend laughed a lot afterwards, but I just ended up with a whole tangled mess of yarn. It really was like wee, 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 wee. So anyway, I started to untangle it and see what I can salvage, and then I was like, okay, just screw it. I'm just cutting it here and there, and then trying to untangle it, and made the invisible knot and stuff. And I was like, okay, now I don't have to finish like 1,000 meters of yarn, but only like 800 meters or something, I don't know. But yeah, it's just this bit left, and then I will be finished with my very first triangle scarf, and I'm scarfed for life. Yeah, but so learn from my mistakes. Don't do it in a mixer that you cannot control the speed. Okay, so let me just speed through this. Not again. This is the Jordana shawl that you've already seen. It's growing and growing and growing, and I'm kind of, you know, just like a few more rows and then I will be finished with this one. And I just love the variegation on this one. It's so cool. The Jordana shawl and my Pride shawl, which is a pattern from a German German pattern maker. Sorry. This one is with these rainbow colors, and I still have a lot to go, actually. You know, I'm at that green, and there is a blue, and there is a purple out there. So there is a lot more. There's a long way to go on this one, but it's got these very open patterns here, which is quite nice. But for example, the last one here, and you can't really see it because the yarn is so crazy, has these kind of plushy yarn overs. What are they called? I don't know. But I didn't like them, and I didn't like to crochet them because the yarn isn't really made for this. It's too fine for these clusters to really stand out and be neat and orderly. And so I just only made 2 rows of them, and then I switched to another. I will switch to another pattern and see if I can somehow repeat maybe this one, because I like this one as well. And I liked this pattern up here a lot. These are just 3 crochets in a space that I started another shawl just with this pattern. And I started this one and put it in one of these bags. I sewed this bag myself. I saw someone who is here in Germany. Oh, thank you, by the way, of recommending crochet channels to me. I love the Fibre Spider because he always says like, hello, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. I just love him. And he's got such a soothing and calming voice, and sometimes his videos are about like half an hour or an hour long when he is repeating the patterns and he's counting out loud and everything. And I sometimes put this on to fall asleep because I like his soothing voice and the counting and everything, and I just nod off. Haven't I been talking about that I'm not sleeping well? Well, I haven't watched his videos lately. So anyway, like a German crocheter, she sells these kind of bags in her shop. So they just have a drawstring up here, and yeah, they're just to hold yarn in. And I still had some of these fabrics left. You might remember this one from, yeah, you might remember this one. And then I crocheted a foundation chain thingy here with 2 strands, like where you crochet not just a chain and then go back and put double crochets into each stitch, but you crochet the double crochet and the chain at the same time. And that's what I tried out here, and it looks much neater on the bottom and on the top, and I really like that. And so yeah, I just crocheted this and used it as a drawstring. Anyway, I wanted to show you a different kind of yarn because I bought Rico yarn. I don't know if you know Rico Designs and if you can get it at where you are. Rico, R-I-C-O. And this is the yarn that I chose. And I started from the outside this time because I want to have the blue as the last layer. And this yarn is so interesting because it's not twisted in itself. The 4 strands lie very straight next to each other. So they are not twisted like this, where you see the variegation from one color to the next, but it lies flat right next to each other. And this is very nice, I find, for stitching, for crocheting the way I crochet. I really like this kind of yarn because before I only bought these cakes at Hobby, and now I bought this one at another place. Anyway, so as I said, this is the first part of the pattern of the robin shawl that I was doing for my bride's shawl. And I just love it. It looks so symmetrical and calming, and I really like it. Maybe I will kind of, you know, after a few rows separate, or after a color, I mean, I'm slowly getting into the pinkish color, and before it gets stark pink, I might change the pattern, but we'll see. Anyway, I really like this color. What kind of is it? Just, yeah, it's 50% cotton and 50% acrylic. Really nice. I like that one. And I like this wonderful tealy color. Just spoke to me. And speaking of sewing, when I was at my sewing station and I was cutting up my old jeans because they're ripped, and I was cutting them up, and I was cutting the legs, and I was cutting everything for a different project. But when I had the legs lying in front of me, I was like, why don't I just take the leg and sew it shut down here and make it, you know, a bit wider, and have like a drawstring thingy on top, and then I just have a jeans pouch like this. So yeah, I made a jeans leg pouch for another project. It's not yet a project. This one is just a ball of yarn that I got from a Hanover here in Germany, from a German manufacturer, Kraken Yarns. It's 100% wool, merino wool. I'm not yet sure what I'm doing with this one, but I suppose it will be some boot toppers, or maybe fingerless gloves. But it's 40 degrees outside. I'm not crocheting with wool. It's wonderful. It feels great. It's soft like crazy, but I'm not doing it right now. And let me just show you the last one. Because that might be also something interesting for you, because you might know Expression Fibre Arts. She is also doing crochet and knitting tutorials on her YouTube channel, but she is also selling wonderful, beautiful, beautiful yarns, like hand-dyed yarns, if I remember correctly. But she also has a lot of free patterns on her website, and one of them was a stole, just a shawl, a straight shawl and I thought, well, maybe I can make this into a loop shawl, because I still was looking for a pattern for a nice summery loop shawl for my unicolors, like just one color yarn balls that I bought, white and blue and like a transition color. Anyway, so this is the pattern. It's called Free Spirit, and I just closed the shawl up into a loop, and I'm going round and round and round, and this is the pattern. Very open, very breezy, very light. It's a triple crochet. It's just triple crochets in clusters of 5, and then one single one, and clusters of 5 and one single one. And I have done 7 rows in white right now. I'm on my second row of this transition color, and the last color will be this jeans blue. And I was thinking about, I have like 7 white, and I will do 3 in this lighter blue and 4 in the darker blue. That's at least my plan. And I like this flowery, very open, very stretchy pattern right now. Yeah. So thank you again for bearing with me with my new crochet addiction. It's really, I mean, it's like it's hot outside, but I still want to crochet because this is a rather, you know, when it's so hot and you cannot really think, that it's really easier to do these repetitive motions of crocheting. And yeah, I mean, yeah. So this was actually all for today. like showing like whip wise, is that a word? I don't know. I just want to remind you of, for my international viewers and friends, I just want to remind you of the Stitch Basel 2023 stitching retreat that a few of my stitchy friends are organizing right now. It's going to take place in Basel, Switzerland, on the weekend of the 15th of September next year. And I linked the Facebook group down below, and the wonderful thing is that one of our stitchy friends here from the US already asked me if it would be weird for her to come over and visit, and I was like, why would it be weird? What kind of question is that? Why would it be weird? I mean, there are people from Germany or from Europe traveling to Canada already having their tickets for Stitch North, so why would it be weird for someone from the US coming over to Germany, or at least not Germany, to Switzerland, to take part in this stitching retreat? I have no idea how big it will be. It will probably not be as big as, for example, the Stitch North or the StitchCon or whatever, because yeah, it has to gain some traction, I suppose. And I'm very happy that, I mean, I am just organizing smaller stitching meetups here in the cities of Germany, in Hamburg, in Essen, in Berlin, and in Frankfurt maybe, or in Nuremberg maybe. And so really going big and going international, saying, okay, Switzerland is a land where you speak 3 languages anyway. Well, not all of them, but it's you can be in one country and have someone speaking 3 languages fluently: Italian, French, and German. And so doing this on this international soil is such a wonderful idea, and I hope that not just people from Germany, from Switzerland will be there, but also more international people. And Amy J, who is also organizing, like who is one of those girls who is organizing, and she's actually American. She lives here in Germany, but she's American, and I suppose she will be very happy to have some US reinforcement here on that. So yeah, if you don't have any plans for next year's vacation, maybe you want to look into visiting Germany. I'm so sorry, visiting Europe. I mean, Switzerland is so small compared to, I don't know, let me just find out what square mileage would compare to Switzerland. I mean, there would be one US state maybe being at that size. Anyway, so yeah, I'll have the Facebook group link down below. And for now, I just wish you a cool head, that your AC will never run out of juice. Oof. Okay, and I will open up the windows now. Have a lovely day, and I see you soon.